I'm building two B2B SaaS businesses at the same time without a technical background. One of them is dealbuddy.com and the other one is Six Sides. So today's been all about lead generation. I spent all day yesterday researching and trying a different type of lead generation. First of all, I gathered a list of about 10 to 15 ideal clients that I would like to work with in my capital city here in Australia. And then what I did is I used GPT to do a lot of research, basically, that previously would be very hard to do. So what I was looking for was, in particular when it come to DealBuddy, is looking for challenges that this business had with sales, or what are the symptoms that look like that they're having challenges with sales. That information is not directly available. Well, I don't think it is anyway. So what I did is I wanted to look at the consequence of not having great sales practices. Specifically, this company had a lot of turnover in the US. They had some poor reviews on Trustpilot, I think it was that they retracted out of a geography as well. So that to me indicated there was an issue. And also the founder couldn't transition out of founder-led sales effectively. So essentially what I did is I took all that information, wrote a report, and sent it back to the founder. So this is a bit of a later video today because I wanted to wait till I actually called the founder. Unfortunately, the CEO founder is in the US at the moment. So speaking to them is probably not going to happen for a little bit of time. But at the end of the day, whether they come back or not is out of my hands. What I have done is I've started creating a process that I can replicate. It took me a while to figure out the structure in what I wanted to do. It ended up being an 8-page report. My goal here is to add value. Instead of asking them, do they want to work with me? I just want to add value, see if I can help them first and foremost. If nothing else comes of it and they read the report, so be it. Maybe they'll remember my name in the future. Maybe they'll see me 3 months, 6 months, 12 months down the track and go, I remember that guy. But I want to make sure I'm targeted in doing that. But from there, what I'll do is I'll be able to use that report. I think I'm going to, obviously iterate. It's not always going to be perfect. I want to iterate, use that report. I've kind of got a structure down pat of what I'm looking for now. And so I expect, although this took me 5 or 6 hours, probably longer to complete today, it should take me a lot less when I do my other two in next couple of days. And then I'll be able to transfer that over to Six Sides and do it for them as well. I've got a few key clients that I want to target as well. Now, also, I've created another lead generation strategy for lower end clients where I'm not going to be able to sit down and do, large amount of research for the price point. It doesn't economically make sense. So I've started utilizing my profile on LinkedIn and also my co-founder's profile on LinkedIn for Six Sides, Mitchell Davis. And so we've started reaching out to associations and event managers just to let them know we exist. If you watched the video yesterday, we released our app to both Apple and Google. It's been approved on Apple. We're just waiting for Google, hopefully, to expedite the review process. So it's ready to go to market now. So we're starting to plan out for, we're assuming that event organizers or managers or associations probably have made a decision within the last 6 months. Sorry, for events within the next 6 months. So we're probably not targeting for them. We're probably looking out into November time of year, December, pushing into January. We could very well jag or get lucky and meet some businesses that are leaving it to the last minute, but we want to work on that. So currently I've set up 2 lead generation strategies for both businesses, and that's starting to roll out. So that'll take a couple of weeks in my mind, to start bearing fruit. But what I'll do is I'll start documenting this. If anyone is interested in actually seeing what I'm doing here, let me know, and I'll make sure I revisit this and go through a step-by-step. As long as we get results, right? Well, even if we don't, it's good to see what I'm trying and what's working. Maybe you can combine it with what you're doing on your side. Maybe you can share what you're doing. One of the key things I've done yesterday was apply for $10,000 in AWS credits for Six Sides. Currently, our burn rate is around $600 a month on our cost to AWS. And when we're pre-revenue, or we have some type of revenue, just over 10K, but we will burn through any of that in the coming months. That's about $7,000 for 12 months worth of Amazon subscription. So we want to actually reduce that down until we get to a decent price point if we can. And so the first gate of approval for that was done this morning, and we're just waiting for AWS to come to that. Now, if you're an Australian startup or an Australian founder and you're looking for AWS credits, my tax advisor, Record Advisory, the CEO there, Roman Galikoff, he should be able to help you. I'll put the description or his email address or his website address in the description below, and then you can reach out to Roman. He can have a conversation with you or give you those, give you the credits or the application form anyway. Now, going back to lead gen, particularly with this project I'm doing with deep dive reporting, I was a bit nervous. So this is a later video today. Typically I make this video early in the morning, but I haven't done lead gen specifically for a while, so it's a little bit nerve-wracking. And it turns out that the CEO that I was targeting seems to be in the US, so I'm probably not going to get a response, even if he's interested, for a couple of days. But even if he doesn't, I'm going to learn something. And it's too early to say, although I'd like a 100% strike rate, that's ideally not possible. It's really hard to say whether this is a successful strategy until I get probably 10 from each business under my belt. And you know, I guess time will tell. But I'm only going to do this for high ticket ones. I figure it's easy to go for higher price point, you know, $30,000, $40,000 a year revenue, opposed to trying really hard for, you know, founders that could be $4,000 or $5,000 a year. Although I still really want to help them, that would just be a different strategy where I won't be doing a report. It's just not needed at that price point. Lead gen and marketing is really challenging, because I've realized once I start thinking about this stuff, then I don't think about operation stuff, and it's really, you're doing one to sacrifice the other. So it's really, in my mind, I'm going from jumping through those 5 categories that I said yesterday, from marketing, lead generation, sales, operations, and finance. I've been skipping through all of them just in these last couple of days. So unfortunately, I don't see that changing anytime soon. I have thought about, if I did get to a certain price point, what would I do then? What's the first area? What's the first silo that I would get help in? And it's probably marketing, because I'm not that strong on marketing not vehicles, you know what I mean, like channels. I'm better at the language and proving value and getting people's attention. I'm not that great at distribution and, you know, click-through rates and all that kind of stuff. It's probably that, because then combine that with lead generation, probably gets more potential sales opportunities. And then probably the next thing after that is maybe operations, helping someone deliver, or customer support, or helping iterate the platform to build out functionality to go for different types of the market. It's just, I'm not sure where to go with that at this point in time. One thing I do know, it's really exciting. There's so many different ways that I could go here. I just don't necessarily know what the right way is, but I do know one thing for sure: revenue, having a lot of revenue and making a lot of sales makes everything just that little less important, right? You know, not running out of money or financing, or you have more options. So I've seen founders that I've worked with and even businesses that I've worked with for over these last few years, when money's not coming in and sales aren't coming in, the stress that people go through is just unbelievable. And I want to avoid that as much as I can. I know it's not probably possible entirely. I'm okay for short periods of not being able to do that, but I want to make sure I have a sound business model from the beginning for both businesses, just so we avoid unnecessary stress, right? Anyway, that's me for today. Talk to you tomorrow.